so excited to share with you guys how I created the 6 P's of Genius Hour template on Book Creator or using Book Creator. This was so easy to do and it makes so much sense to me. I think to have your students have that place where they can document their progress, share their learning, and have it done in a place where they can share that out with others. You know, having a journal is a great idea, but when it's done in a digital way, it can then be shared out with others really, really easily. So let me show you kind of what this looks like, what I've created, and then I'm going to walk you through how to do this on your own. So this is the 6 P's of Genius Hour book that I created on Book Creator, and it's just bookcreator.com. I'm going to flip through here so you can kind of see what it looks like. I created a page for each one of the 6 P's. So passion, plan, pitch, project, product, and presentation. And on each one of those pages, I included the different content that fits into each part of Genius Hour. So if you've ever heard me share, you've been to one of my trainings, or you've been through the online course, you kind of know what this should look like. If you haven't, you can include whatever you want on these pages. It's totally your call, but I wanted to give you something to kind of go by. So let's start with passion. You can see that I've asked students to include their Thrively results. So they take the strengths assessment on Thrively, share those results there. Maybe they fill out the passion bracket from AJ Giuliani and include a picture of that. And then, of course, we want them to share the global goal that their Genius Hour project is going to be addressing. And then over here on plan, they answer those 3 simple questions. How much time do you think this is going to take? Who will your outside expert be? And what materials do you need? And that just gives us an opportunity to start thinking through, what is this going to look like? So as we go through, you'll see that each page has different content. You'll also notice that pitch and presentation have those QR codes at the top. Those link to Flipgrid so that if a student wanted to pitch or present on Flipgrid and then receive feedback, they would be able to do that. Again, that's totally your call. And there's also a place for them to include the QR code that links to their video so that it's right here in the book. On project, I've included one of my favorite tools. I talk about it all the time, that reflection QR code from Tony Vincent. But that QR code will give them a reflection question. They can then post their reflection, their thoughts, their response to that reflection question here, and then document the learning that they applied that day during Genius Hour. Now, you may be asking yourself, okay, once they fill that out one day, what do they do the next day? They would simply need to create a copy of that project page every time they work on Genius Hour so that their book continues to grow and they're always documenting that learning. So project is the only page that they would have more than one of probably, but that option is there, and I think that's very cool and very easy for students to use. So now that you've seen kind of what my book looks like, let me kind of flip through. I want to show you how you can create this on your own. Now, the good news is if you're part of my email list, if you've gone to andymcnair.com and you've subscribed, you're going to get this template. So you'll be able to actually just use my template. But if you want to create your own, you are welcome to do that. Maybe you don't like the way mine looks, or you want to use different colors. You may want to include different content. I want to show you how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new book. And you have lots of options here. You can choose your book shape. I chose landscape because I wanted lots of real estate to work with here. And then I just started thinking through, what do I want this to look like? So just so I can show you how to do some different things here, I'm going to create the passion page. So the first thing I want to do is add my background. So I'm going to click on this little eye, and you have lots of options. And if you scroll down, you have even more options. I love the comic pages because I just think they're really colorful. They're lots of fun. So I'm going to choose this yellow, bright yellow background, and now I can start adding my text. So anytime I want to add something, I just click this little plus symbol. I'm going to add text here. I want to give it a title. And now I can format this particular piece of text. So I want to definitely change the font so that it matches kind of that comic-ish theme that I have going on. And then I can actually change the size of my font. So I want that to really stand out. So I'm going to make it big. All right, so now I have that in place. And now I want to think through, what do I want my students to include on this particular page? For me, in order to divide that up, it was really easy to just add shapes. So you click plus, over here there are shapes. I like the rounded edges. And then you can make that shape look however you want. So easy. I'm just dragging here. I'm not a big fan of the yellow and orange together, so I want to make sure that I change the color. I'm going to click the eye, and I can then choose that color, but I can make it a little bit lighter so that it's easy to see. I'm going to apply that. Now, I really like the way that that looks, so I just want to copy this. And then I'm going to use the shortcut Command V, and then I can create, again, this shape to look any way that I want. Now here I want to put the global goal, so I want this to kind of be a square. Looks like that, and then I'm just going to Command V again. Do you see how easy this is? It's so fast and easy. It's taking me no time at all to create this amazing page where my students can just drop their content in. It's going to make so much sense to them. It's going to be so much easier. So now they have no idea what's supposed to go into these boxes, so I want to add that text. So I'm going to click text. Maybe I want them to share their Thrively results. Click done. Put this where I want it. I want to make sure that it matches everything else. So I'm going to change my font again. If I can find, here we go. All right, now, because I just want that font, I'm going to just copy and paste. This is going to be global goal. I love the idea of students attaching a global goal to their Genius Hour project, because that helps them move from just creating a project or just creating a product to really creating change and making an impact. And then maybe I want them to put a picture of their passion bracket here. Okay, and then done. Now I can make this a little bigger if I want, whatever I want that to look like. They're probably gonna need more room. I could spend all day doing this, but I just kind of want you guys to get the idea. Now that's kind of plain and boring, so I may want to add an image. I love that you can either add an image from your computer, you can add an image from your drive, or you can just go to Google. I'm just going to search heart because I think that's appropriate for passion. And then I can make this look however I want. So I'm just going to kind of move it over here. I'm not going to get super fancy here. But you see how I'm able to be creative and do some really cool things really easily. Now, a couple of logistical things. First of all, you want to make sure that you lock these things into place. So I'm going to right click here and lock so that your students can't move these around, because that's going to get really confusing if they're trying to work and that everything starts moving around. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there we go. All right, and so I'm going to make sure that I lock everything that I don't want them to be able to move. And when you lock it, you see that those locks come up in the corners. That's how you know that it is not going to be able to be moved. Now, once I've created this page, or once I've created the book, I'm going to go to my books. I'm going to make sure that it's in my library, and right up here it says show invite code. So you would share that invite code with your students, and then they would be able to come down here and they would just copy the book. So then that book would be in their library. They would be able to access it and use that template to kind of create and fill out every single day that they work on Genius Hour. You can do this so many different ways. Maybe you make a template. Maybe you tell, if they're older, you might want to give them the content that has to be in their book and let them be creative and create their own book. It's totally your call. But I just wanted to take some time this morning to show you guys how to do this. I was really excited about kind of the possibilities here and how easy it was to kind of create this book template for your students to use. I hope that this is helpful. Again, if you want to receive the emails where I email stuff like this out, you can go over to andymcnair.com and just subscribe. But I hope that this is helpful. If you create something like this, I would love to see what it looks like. So share it with me over on Twitter. You can email it to me, whatever makes sense for you. But thank you so much for taking time to watch this. I hope that you got some information that you can use. I love that you guys are thinking about implementing Genius Hour, and I hope this is another way for you to make Genius Hour manageable for you and meaningful for your students.